Something's brewing inside the Allen Park facility that could shake the foundation of everything we've built over the past 3 seasons. Welcome to Lions News Fan Report, your trusted source for breaking updates, insider analysis, and the real stories behind our beloved Detroit Lions. I'm here to bring you the news that matters, the moves that count, and today I've got information that's going to make you think differently about the direction of this franchise moving forward. The 2025 season has shown us something remarkable about this Lions team. We've witnessed growth, we've seen resilience, and we've watched this organization transform from perpetual underdogs into legitimate contenders. But behind every success story, there are decisions being made in private meetings, conversations happening behind closed doors, and strategic planning that goes far beyond what we see on Sunday afternoons. And right now, those conversations are getting intense. Let me paint you a picture of where we stand. Our offensive line, once considered one of the most dominant units in the entire NFL, is facing an identity crisis. Taylor Decker has been dropping hints about his future that should concern every single Lions fan watching this video. The veteran left tackle, a cornerstone of our protection scheme since 2016, isn't being subtle anymore about potentially hanging up his cleats. And when a player of Decker's caliber starts talking retirement, it creates a domino effect that impacts every single decision this organization makes going forward. Here's where things get complicated. The 2026 free agent market isn't offering us much hope. Outside of maybe landing Tyler Linderbaum at center or Rashid Walker at tackle, we're looking at a pretty barren landscape for immediate offensive line help. That means Brad Holmes and his scouting department are going to have to work magic in the draft, finding replacements at both right guard and left tackle. Penei Sewell and rookie Tate Ratledge appear to be the only absolute certainties returning to start next season. Think about that for a second. 2 guaranteed starters out of 5 positions. That's not a minor concern. That's a structural issue that demands immediate attention. Now, I've been analyzing draft scenarios, running through mock drafts, talking to people who understand how this organization thinks, and there's a scenario emerging that nobody wants to talk about publicly, but everyone's considering privately. The Lions could be looking at prospects like Caden Proctor from Alabama, the 3rd-ranked offensive lineman who allowed just 1 sack this entire season for the Crimson Tide, along with only 3 quarterback hits and 16 total pressures, according to advanced metrics. He's the kind of talent that immediately upgrades your left tackle position. Then you've got Emmanuel Pregnion from Oregon, who started every game at left guard for USC in 2024, without allowing a single sack. These aren't just Band-Aid solutions, these are foundational pieces. But here's what I need you to understand about why I'm laying all this groundwork. When an NFL team starts heavily investing in offensive line protection, when they're looking at multiple 1st and 2nd round picks to completely rebuild their pass protection scheme, it sends a message. And that message becomes even louder when you consider one critical factor that I haven't mentioned yet. Our current depth chart shows Dan Skipper and Giovanni Manu as backup options, and while both have been serviceable in limited roles, neither provides the long-term answer for protecting our most valuable asset under center. Let me be direct with you because you deserve honesty. Jared Goff has been nothing short of phenomenal for this franchise. His transformation from the quarterback everyone wrote off in Los Angeles to a Pro Bowl caliber player in Detroit is one of the great redemption stories in recent NFL history. He's given us precision passing, clutch performances, and leadership that helped change the entire culture of this organization. The connection between Goff and this city has been special to watch develop. But here's the reality of professional football that we all need to face together. Goff is entering a phase of his career where protection becomes paramount. He's not a mobile quarterback who can consistently escape pressure or extend plays with his legs. His game is built on timing, accuracy, and having a clean pocket to operate from. And when that protection starts deteriorating, when your quarterback is getting hit more frequently, when the offensive line can't create the time necessary for routes to develop, everything falls apart. We've seen glimpses of this when protection breaks down, and it's not pretty. The organization knows this better than anyone. They've watched every snap, analyzed every pressure, studied every breakdown, and they're smart enough to understand that if they can't guarantee elite protection going forward, if the free agent market isn't providing solutions, if they're banking on rookie draft picks to immediately step in and protect a veteran quarterback, then they have to start asking themselves difficult questions about the long-term viability of the current situation. This is where the speculation gets real. And I want to be careful here because I'm not reporting that a decision has been made. I'm analyzing the strategic landscape and connecting the dots that are right in front of us. If the Lions are preparing for a major offensive line overhaul, if they're accepting that it might take a year or two to get that unit back to championship caliber, then they have to consider whether Goff fits into that timeline. He's not getting younger. His contract situation becomes relevant. And most importantly, asking a quarterback of his style to operate behind a rebuilt, inexperienced offensive line could be setting everyone up for failure. The optimistic view, and I genuinely believe this is how the organization is approaching it, is that they could be planning for the next era while this window is still open. Maybe they draft a quarterback in 2026 or 2027 to develop behind Goff while simultaneously rebuilding the offensive line. That gives them insurance, maintains competition, and creates a succession plan that doesn't leave this franchise in quarterback purgatory when Goff's time eventually comes to an end. Or, and this is the scenario that makes the most sense from a pure football perspective, they could explore moving Goff to a team that's one quarterback away from contention, to a team with an established offensive line that can offer him the protection to continue performing at a high level, while they hit the reset button and build around younger pieces. I know that's hard to hear for many of you. I know Goff has earned our loyalty and respect, but this is the business side of football that we can't ignore. Teams are built on 5-year windows, and smart organizations are always planning 3 years ahead. If the Lions believe their offensive line situation is going to take 2 years to stabilize, if they think they can get significant value for Goff in a trade, while simultaneously addressing multiple roster needs with those assets, then it becomes a conversation worth having in those private meetings I mentioned earlier. The 2026 draft class has quarterback talent. The free agent market in 2027 could present opportunities. And most importantly, this roster outside of quarterback is young, talented, and built for sustained success. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jameson Williams, this offensive core isn't going anywhere. They could thrive with a different quarterback, potentially a younger, more mobile quarterback who can mask offensive line deficiencies while the unit develops. Now, before anyone panics, let me be absolutely clear about something. I'm speculating based on the strategic landscape, not reporting confirmed information. The Lions could absolutely ride with Goff, draft protection, and run it back with confidence that their draft picks develop quickly. That's a viable path forward. But as someone who analyzes this team obsessively, who studies every move, who tries to think 3 steps ahead like these front offices do, I see the writing on the wall. I see the preparation for change, even if that change doesn't happen this offseason. The reality is this organization has earned our trust. They've made smart decision after smart decision. If they believe the best path forward involves making a difficult choice at the quarterback position, if they think they can maintain competitiveness while building for an even longer window of success, then we need to trust that process even when it's uncomfortable. That's what championship organizations do. They make the hard calls before they become desperate calls. I want to hear from you on this. Do you think the Lions should ride with Goff regardless of offensive line concerns, or do you believe there's merit to exploring what the market might offer if they decided to make a change? How would you approach this situation if you were running this team? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this is the conversation that Lions fans need to be having right now. We're at a crossroads, and the decisions made in the next 12 months will define the next decade of this franchise. Looking at this situation with optimism and realism combined, I believe the Lions are positioned to make whatever decision serves the long-term interests of winning championships. Whether that includes Goff or not, this organization has proven they're not afraid to make bold moves when necessary. That's exciting, even when it's uncertain. Make sure you're subscribed to Lions News Fan Report and hit that notification bell because this story is going to develop rapidly over the coming months. I'll be bringing you every update, every piece of analysis, and every insider perspective as soon as information becomes available. Share this video with fellow Lions fans, get the conversation going, and let's navigate this together as one pride. Until next time, one pride, one goal!